us because we missed you. When I say we, I mean me. In honor of my second YouTube video, we're gonna talk butterfly effect. Oh man. So I keep seeing everybody on TikTok talking about the butterfly effect and how so many people are interpreting it wrong and are getting like their stories mixed up. And honestly, I don't know if mine is the butterfly effect, but I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So here's the butterfly effect story about me and Cheyenne. I guess this is kind of also like how we met, how our situation started. Oh, men are mad. Before we start, I actually have a question for my YouTube people. I was struggling to edit my first YouTube video because I feel like in my TikToks, I edit my clips so they're just so kind of choppy, but I feel like that's how I like my TikTok videos to be. So I was having trouble when I'm editing my YouTube videos. I don't want it to sound choppy, but like I feel like I'm like a choppy talker just because I'm so used to talking to my TikTok. So if I edit my YouTube videos like I edit my TikToks, is that annoying? I'm honestly asking for real because I felt like it was like too choppy. I guess that just means I have to learn how to actually talk. I'm Cheyenne. Let's get into the butterfly effect. So the butterfly effect for me and Cheyenne's story goes a little bit like this. So I was a freshman in college at the University of Maryland, and I believe it was my freshman year when I met Cheyenne. Was it my freshman year or was it my sophomore year? Honestly, I don't remember. It might have been, no, it was definitely my freshman year, but this was my freshman year when Cheyenne came on her unofficial visit to the University of Maryland. I want to say she was a sophomore or junior in high school. So when you come on unofficial visits, typically coaches will like walk you around campus, introduce you to some players, show you where people live, the gym, the facilities, take you to certain meetings, stuff like that. Cheyenne's visit particularly, she came with her mom and her dad, and I was chosen to be the person who showed her around like the apartment building. So usually one player shows their room, talks to the recruit, blah, 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 it's a whole thing. So recruits can see like where players live, like what there's going to do around there. And usually players don't hang out with the recruits that much. That's usually on like official visits when you go all together. You get dinner, you get food, you get orders, you get all that, and you spend time with them because it's like a multiple day trip. I think Cheyenne's trip was like a day, maybe like a day and a half, but I only saw her for like an hour. So I was showing Cheyenne and her parents and her family, and like my coaches were there too, all around my apartment building. So I showed them pool area at the time, like places we go hang out. I also showed her my bedroom. So at the time I lived in a 2x2 with Diamond. This was my freshman year, Diamond Miller. We were showing Cheyenne my room and I was the only person there. I remember Diamond not being there, and always when it's official visits, especially with high schoolers, excuse me. I know I was a freshman at the time, but it's kind of hard because it's like, okay, these people are really young. Are we gonna have much to talk about? It's kind of sometimes hard to start conversations with young recruits. Right from the get-go, I like introduced myself to Cheyenne. Cheyenne's parents were talking to the coaches out in the living room. I brought Cheyenne into my bedroom and I was just talking to her, and we had like pictures on the wall. So I was just talking, I was like, this is my family, blah, 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 blah. She was really outgoing. I feel like I'm a very outgoing, like I can kind of talk to people type of situation. What also depends if I'm comfortable. And clearly I was very comfortable talking to Cheyenne because we spent 40 minutes sitting in my room just talking. Yes, I was a freshman at the time, but I can still say that I have never talked to a recruit for 40-minute span just sitting there like on our own. Like it wasn't a forced situation. Sometimes with recruits it could be forced because it's like, we're trying to get you to come to our school, so I'm trying to relate to you, I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to convince you that this is the place you want to be. But that was the first and only time I could say it was so easy talking to her. I was just telling her like how it is here, like how much I loved Maryland, how much I love everyone. And then that was literally it. After I showed the apartment, I didn't see her again. At the time, I literally thought nothing of it. Cheyenne was still in high school, I was in college. I was in a relationship at the time. She was in a relationship at the time. So that literally wasn't even a thing that crossed my mind. It was just like, I just had another recruit here. So I'm trying to convince Cheyenne to come to our school, and I just like had the vibe. We both had the vibe. We talk about it so much now, but we both had the vibe like, oh, like if she comes here, like if we go to school together, like we could be really cool. We could be really good friends. So I take a lot of credit for Cheyenne going to the University of Maryland because I'm definitely the reason she was like, ooh, like this seems like a cool place. Like I actually think I would like it here. So boom, bam, Cheyenne goes goes on the rest of her visit with all the coaches. Literally didn't see her again after that. And then like as years went on, kind of keep in contact with certain recruits. Sometimes coaches ask you like, hey, like text these recruits, see how they're doing, see what they're up to. So I would keep in contact with Cheyenne every once in a while. Like I was cool with her. I had her on Snapchat. I never really Snapchatted her, but like we would answer each other's Snapchats, like just little small talk, kind of keep in contact and be like, yo, like what are you thinking? Like, do you think you want to come here? But then she ended up committing. So she committed to the University of Maryland. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like this is gonna be my future teammate. So before practice, I remember literally sitting in the training room like, oh my God, like I'm gonna call Cheyenne real quick and be like, congrats, like signing to the University of Maryland, whatever. So I FaceTime her and I'm like, congrats, like you're signing today. And she's like, I'm not signing today. I was like, oh my God. We just ended up like chit chatting, like how you doing, blah, blah, blah. So I go off, go to practice, never think of it ever again. So fast forward, COVID happens. After COVID, Shai graduated high school, and then now she's a freshman in college. When Shai first got to school, I didn't really hang out with her much. I was in like some weird situationship going on. So I was kind of like isolated from myself because I was going through a lot at the time. And I was focused on stuff I shouldn't have been focused on. Besides the point, when Cheyenne first got to campus, I didn't really hang out with her much. I didn't talk to her much. But then there was this one day I specifically remember me and Shai hung out. At this time, she was still in a relationship and I was in a situationship dealing with, we were hanging out. I think we like went to the pool or whatever one day. And then we went back to my apartment room and I was in a different room at this point. I was in a 4x4 and living with 3 other of my teammates. And after the pool, I was like, I'm so tired. We're sitting on the couch, just watching TV, just talking, whatever. It was literally just the 2 of us. So we're sitting on my couch. I'm on like laying down on this big couch and she's on like the side chair. And I just remember being like, Shai, like I might fall asleep. Like I'm so tired. She's like, it's fine. Like I'm just chilling. Like I'm really have nothing else to do. So I was like, okay. So I fell asleep on the couch and it was just me and her in the room. And then I wake up and she's still there. And at first I was like, I feel like I would be weirded out if someone was just like still there while I was just sleeping. Like I feel like anyone else would have just like gotten up and left. But Shai being the little freshman, she was just like, I have nothing else to do. Like I'll just hang out. Like I'm sitting here on my phone, whatever. So I was like, I wasn't weirded out by it. I was just like, oh, like, okay, cool. So I go look on her Snapchat story and she posted a picture of me sleeping and she was like, sleepy terp. And I'm like, oh my God. So I just thought that was kind of funny because I feel like anyone else, if anyone else were to do that, I'd be like, you're fucking weird. Like, why didn't you just leave? Like I was literally in a deep slumber, probably snoring. I don't even know you. You barely know me. Honestly, didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, okay, this girl's bored. And life went on. And me and Shai were teammates for 2 years. We ended up just getting really close. She was honestly like a sister to me. Then we ended up just like talking a lot. We hung out all the time. You would never see me without seeing her. Like we were just super close and we were strictly friends. Like in the beginning, we were always friends. Nothing were to ever happen. She was still in a relationship, but then ended up getting out of a relationship. I get out of a situationship. We were just friends for a really long time. Honestly, just dealing with like life, school, getting out of relationships, like honestly just living our life, like making friends, hanging out with everybody. God, I don't even know where the story goes next, but it is just like a whirlwind of everything. And people like always suspected we were together, but honestly like we really weren't. Me and Shai didn't officially start dating until July 5th of 2022, which was my senior year of college. Me and Cheyenne were so back and forth. Honestly, I didn't know if I wanted to be in a relationship. I was going through a lot. I wasn't really like ready to settle down again, considering like the situation I had just gotten out of. I was low-key traumatized. It was a lot. I mean, her went back and forth a lot. I just wasn't ready to commit and she knew that and I kept telling her that, but yet she still like stuck around. Whenever she started catching feelings, I started catching feelings. It was a long process because for me, I was like, I am not ready to like get into anything. I don't really want anything. And she understood that and she was like, okay, like we can just be friends. Like that's fine. So we were just friends for a while, but there was always like something. We both knew it, but nobody wanted to do anything. Especially at the time, there was a rule on our team that you weren't allowed to date your teammates. So we're like, okay, like you can't do that. Like that's not even in question. We were just really close and people always suspected that we were together. But at one point we weren't together, which was so funny because we're like, whatever, like let people think what they want to think. It was also funny because like I was really close with some of my other teammates and the things that me and Cheyenne did, like hang out, like we would lay in bed together. Like we would always just like watch movies in bed and like hang out. Like I used to do that with all my other teammates, but nobody thought anything of it because I don't know, like maybe it wasn't 2 girls that like other girls. I don't know. It was whatever. Besides the point. I guess they ended up being right in the end because now we're engaged. I'm just going on a tangent here. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, I guess where I kind of left off was, yes, I asked Cheyenne to be my girlfriend because honestly, I knew she wouldn't ask me because she was so scared I would say no, because I was the person in the talking phase that was like, I'm not ready to commit. I'm not ready to like be in a true relationship right now. So I knew I was gonna have to be the person to ask her. I officially asked Cheyenne to be my girlfriend on July 5th, 2022. We did have to work through a lot and figure out a lot, especially when we went long distance, of how it's gonna work, because we both knew we wanted to make it work. Didn't really publicly announce it just because we were still on the same team. And it's actually funny because the dating your teammate rule was taken out. I don't know if it was like a compliance issue or they just were like, okay, like we can't really tell them who they can and can't date. Didn't like publicly come out with it. We never really confirmed it. Our teammates did kind of start to pick up onto it, and like they knew, but nobody really ever like fully talked about it. Coaches knew, but they never said anything because like, what are you supposed to say? The day we actually made it official, I posted an Instagram post for Cheyenne's birthday. I think it was 2 years ago now. But yeah, that's when things became official online, or to like the people around us who didn't actually know. Yeah, it's just so crazy because like considering the butterfly effect, if Cheyenne never came on her visit, if Cheyenne never committed to the University of Maryland, if I never committed to the University of Maryland, because Maryland was in like my top 3. This was a long time ago. My top 3 college picks were University of Maryland.
You okay?
God, I can't speak. University of Maryland, University of Virginia, and Wake Forest. Those were my top 3. And honestly, I was heavily contemplating between Maryland and Virginia. If I would have went to Virginia, I don't know if I would have ever met Cheyenne. And if she didn't go to University of Maryland, I would have never met her, because she was also really contemplating going to Michigan State. So it is just like really funny. Like if we didn't end up in the same college, we wouldn't be engaged. It's just so crazy, and I can't picture my life without Cheyenne. It is the greatest thing that has ever happened to me, and I'm just so blessed that our paths were able to cross. I don't know, like I'm just so blessed. Even like her family, like they are great people. My family are great people. Like it is so rare that you find 2 people and like 2 families. Family is very important to me. Family is very important to her, and especially our families together. Like they just go together, and it is very rare that you have families that get along. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but yeah, it's so crazy. Like that is so wild to me. Oh no. My little pad on my thing fell off. I'm just gonna do a little bit of mascara without curling them, just so I don't look like a bald baby. I am gonna go work out later, so I'm just doing my makeup because I don't really feel like doing anything else. I also think the craziest fact of like this whole situation was like, how many times am I gonna say like? The craziest thing about this situation was I was not looking to get into anything, like not searching for a relationship whatsoever. I was honestly doing the opposite. I was like, I'm never gonna love again. The things Cheyenne has taught me in our relationship, I think the main things, number 1, patience. I am the most impatient person. I don't even think she's realized it, but she has taught me so much patience, it's not even funny. One thing that is crazy and I will forever be grateful is for Cheyenne taught me how to truly love somebody. She taught me how to love unconditionally. I thought I knew what love was. I thought I knew what unconditional love was, but until I met her, I knew that I wanted to be with her. I have never felt this kind of loved or how to be loved in the right way. She physically, mentally, emotionally taught me how to love again. I thought I was never gonna love anyone else. I was like, I'm over this. I was honestly very toxic when it came to a relationship, and then she taught me how to get out of it. She taught me, no, like this is real, this can be real. It doesn't have to be toxic. You don't have to think it's fake just because somebody actually acts like this. She just has taught me a lot, and I'm so grateful for her. I guess that's my butterfly effect with my now fiance, my college sweetheart. It's so crazy. Me and Cheyenne will officially be together on July 5th of this year for 3 years. I know I want to spend the rest of my life with her, and clearly she knows she wants to spend the rest of her life with me. That is our butterfly effect story. And I guess like how we started, how we met, all that. And the rest is history. Here's the finished makeup. It's not much, but I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys have a great day and come back for my next video. Bye!